story begins with a girl named Zoe. She looks extremely happy because after a full year, she is finally going to meet her boyfriend. Her boyfriend had gone to Canada for work and has now returned after a long time. At home, her mother gives her the car keys so she can reach him easily. During this, we learn that Zoe cannot speak. She is deaf and mute. Her mother warns her that the road she is about to take is very dangerous, so she needs to be very careful. Zoe reassures her mother through gestures that she will be fine and will reach there without any problems. After that, she gets into the car and heads toward her boyfriend's house. The excitement of meeting him is clearly visible on her face. While driving, she notices a small shop on the way and stops her car there. It is a gift shop where an elderly man is selling handmade items. Zoe buys a gift for her boyfriend from him. After buying the gift, she stands next to her car, takes a selfie, and sends it to her boyfriend so he knows she is on the way and will reach soon. On the other side, when her boyfriend Dean sees the photo, he becomes very happy. Zoe then continues her journey, but while driving, she starts using her phone, which distracts her from the road. Suddenly, an injured man appears right in front of her car. Zoe immediately hits the brakes. The car loses control slightly and stops a short distance ahead, but the man is saved. When Zoe looks outside, she sees that the man has fallen to the ground. Zoe decides to help him, but just then, she notices another man being chased by a group of people. That man stumbles and falls, and the people chasing him run him over with their car, crushing him brutally. Seeing this horrifying scene, Zoe is completely terrified. Now those people start moving toward her. Zoe had a chance to start the car and escape immediately, but she chooses not to. She wants to help the injured man lying on the road, so she quickly steps out of the car and tries to put him inside her vehicle. But before she can leave, the gang members reach her. They grab Zoe and start threatening and intimidating her. Then right in front of her eyes, they brutally kill the injured man. Seeing all this, Zoe becomes extremely scared and tries to run away. But the gang leader, whose name is Trey, points a gun at her and shoots her in the leg so she cannot escape. As soon as she is shot, Zoe collapses to the ground. After that, they take her to their hideout, where they tie her to a bed using barbed wire. The sharp spikes dig into her hands and she writhes in pain. The gang members begin to torture her in a very cruel way. On the other side, Zoe's boyfriend starts getting worried because a lot of time has passed and she still hasn't arrived. He keeps messaging her again and again, but there is no reply. Then his attention goes to the last photo Zoe sent. In the picture, he notices a signboard, which gives him an idea of her location. He immediately calls the police and asks them to find Zoe. Meanwhile, the gang members continue to torture Zoe, and her condition becomes extremely critical. Meanwhile, at that dark hideout, Zoe is groaning in pain. The gang members are taking turns torturing her, and her condition has become extremely bad. In the middle of this, the gang leader Trey comes up to her and starts threatening her in a cold tone. He tells her that she is not the first girl they have done this to. Before her, they have tortured and killed many innocent girls in the same way. He says they control this entire area, and no one can do anything to them. After that, Trey opens a cabinet. Inside, there are several human skulls. He picks one up, shows it to Zoe, and tells her that all of them belong to the Apache tribe, which his grandfather wiped out. He goes on to explain that his grandfather was a colonel in the army, and about 100 years ago, during a war between American soldiers and the Apache tribe, his grandfather brutally eliminated the entire tribe. He cut off their heads and kept them as trophies. Trey is carrying forward the same mindset. Just like his grandfather, he commits atrocities against innocent people and feels no regret. Hearing all this, Zoe starts trembling from within. Fear is clearly visible on her face. After some time, the gang members realize that Zoe cannot speak. When they find this out, one of them says, there is no point in torturing her anymore, and they should just kill her. Trey disagrees. He says not yet, he still wants to make her suffer more. Then the two of them make a bet. They sit down to play cards. Trey says that if he wins, he can do whatever he wants with her. But if his partner wins, then they will kill Zoe immediately. Both agree to the bet, and the game begins. On the other side, Zoe is listening to everything. She understands that if she stays tied up there, she will definitely die. So she gathers courage and decides to escape. As the gang members get busy playing the game, Zoe slowly starts freeing herself from the barbed wires. It is extremely painful because the wires are embedded in her body. But somehow, she manages to get herself loose. She quietly starts sneaking out of the place. Meanwhile, the game ends, and Trey's partner wins. That means Zoe is going to be killed. The man takes a knife and goes to her room to finish her. But when he gets there, he sees that Zoe is gone. He immediately goes out to search for her and spots her at a distance. He rushes toward her, grabs her, and then repeatedly stabs her. Zoe collapses to the ground, and within moments, she dies. The next morning, the same old man who runs the roadside shop is walking around with his dog. The dog keeps sniffing and reaches a spot where the ground looks disturbed. When the man digs there, he finds a dead body. As he looks closely, he realizes that it is the same girl who had bought something from his shop a few days ago. He immediately takes the body to his home. At home, he prepares a mixture of herbs and applies it to Zoe's wounds. At this point, we learn that this old man also belongs to the Apache tribe. He starts chanting something and begins performing a ritual. Through it, He understands how brutally this girl was treated. After that, he begins a dangerous ritual. His goal is to bring Zoe's soul back into her body. After some time, Zoe's body suddenly starts rising into the air. It seems like a soul has actually entered her body. But now her face is no longer the same. Her eyes turn completely black, and her appearance becomes terrifying. Suddenly, she gets up and attacks the old man. But the man was already prepared. He quickly throws something at her, which causes Zoe to fall unconscious again. Meanwhile, Zoe's boyfriend sets out to find her himself. He reaches the same area and checks into a hotel. After some time, when Zoe regains consciousness, she finds herself in a city area. She walks unsteadily, and then she notices a public telephone. She quickly goes there and calls her boyfriend, telling him that she is alive and fine. The most shocking part is that Zoe is now able to speak. Her boyfriend cannot believe his ears. But as soon as he realizes that Zoe is alive, he becomes extremely happy. But suddenly, the call gets disconnected. After that, he traces the location of the phone and immediately heads there. Zoe is still somewhere around that area. Just then, she notices a police officer and walks toward him to ask for help. But as she gets closer, she realizes that he is not a real officer, but one of the gang members. Seeing this, a fire of rage ignites inside Zoe, and this is where her terrifying revenge truly begins. Now, Zoe was no longer just scared. She was filled with intense rage. She follows that fake police officer and reaches a club. Inside, loud music is playing, and people are lost in their own world. Zoe quietly walks up behind him and stands there. As soon as the man turns and sees her, he is completely shaken. His eyes widen in shock. The girl they had killed with their own hands is standing alive right in front of him. At that moment, Zoe's eyes turn completely black. Her face becomes terrifying, as if some other force has awakened inside her. The man panics and attacks her, but Zoe is no longer weak like before. She grabs him and starts beating him brutally. His screams echo throughout the club. Seeing all this, the club owner gets scared and pulls out a gun, firing at Zoe. But Zoe quickly grabs a chair and throws it at him, knocking him unconscious. In the next scene, Zoe's boyfriend reaches the location of the public phone. Police are already present there. He asks them about Zoe, but they tell him that a police officer has been murdered there, and the girl he's looking for is not around. At that moment, Trey arrives with his gang. As soon as he sees his partner's dead body, his anger shoots through the roof. He cannot understand who could have killed his man so brutally. Meanwhile, Zoe's boyfriend Dean approaches them and shows them Zoe's picture, asking if they have seen her. The moment Trey sees the picture, he signals his men to get rid of him, or he will be killed too. Then Trey himself walks up to Dean and tries to mislead him. He says that Dean is wasting his time looking for that girl because she is not here. What he really means is that Zoe is no longer alive. But Dean does not understand this. He insists that Zoe is somewhere nearby because she called him from that same location just a short while ago. Hearing this, all the gang members are shocked. They move toward Dean to kill him, but just then, a real police officer arrives and orders them to leave. Meanwhile, when Zoe regains consciousness again, she finds herself inside a wooden house. The atmosphere is strangely quiet. Suddenly, the door of a room opens on its own. Zoe carefully walks inside and sees various old weapons. She picks up a bow and arrows and walks out. On the other side, the gang members still refuse to believe that Zoe is alive. But to clear their doubts, they go to the place where they had buried her. When they arrive, they see that Zoe's body is missing. The ground seems to slip beneath their feet. Still, one of them refuses to believe it. He says that maybe a wild animal dragged the body away because it is impossible for a dead person to come back to life. But fear has already taken hold of the others. Trey decides that they should leave the area for a while, so that even if the police get involved, they will be safe. After that, everyone goes to their homes to pack their belongings. During this time, one gang member is about to leave when he notices that an arrow is stuck in his car tire. He panics and immediately calls his friends, saying that Zoe might be nearby. Suddenly, Zoe appears in front of him and shoots an arrow into his leg. He screams in pain and falls to the ground. After that, Zoe keeps shooting arrows at him without stopping until he dies. Once she is done, she walks away. A little later, the other gang members arrive and become furious upon seeing their partner's dead body.